I live in Robinson Township.
Mount Lebanon?
Upper St. Clair.
I now go to the University of Pittsburgh, so I'm in Oakland area more.
I live on the east side of Pittsburgh.
I live on the north side of Pittsburgh.
I live in the South Hills of Beachview.
I live in Mount Washington, originally from the South Hills.
We live in Beaver County. It's a suburb about 30 miles north of here in Ambridge.
What do I like about the neighborhood? It's, I guess it's safe, and there's a business area that you can walk to, so you don't have to drive everywhere. It's close to the city, so there's the T too, where you can take the T.
I like the busyness, the chaotic streets. I enjoy tall buildings and always having something different, whereas when I used to live, it was just kind of like I didn't have much to do outside of like going to a park or something like that.
It's a very affluent area, so we have really good schools, good education. I got into a good college from there. It's nice, it's safe, it's pretty clean.
There's a lot of old architecture. It's an old steel town, so it makes it kind of interesting just to see, unfortunately, how it's depleted. But there's still some of the natural beauty in the area.
The cost of living is fairly decent down in that area. Like the taxes are low, and I got my house for good, a decent price and whatnot.
I mean, it's kind of tight knit. Like it's a small suburban community, so it's you kind of know what's going on. One of the best things is being close to the city.
You know, I have a nice view of the south side where I live, and I can step outside and get a gorgeous view of downtown. I like the little neighborhood of Shiloh Street. There's some bars and restaurants, and that kind of, you can have a little nice time out on the town without having to go very far.
So we actually have, I don't know if you're familiar with Shenley Park. It's just right past our campus, but a little bit closer, actually on our main campus, is Shenley Plaza. So it's just like a green space. You'll see like kids just like lounging out, hanging out, as well as there's a bunch of different little cafes.
I mean, there's Giant Eagle down there, convenience stores, gas stations.
I'm like less than a block away from a grocery store. And they just remodeled it too.
I'm very close to Ohio Valley Hospital, if you know that. Mall of Robinson is right by there. It's a big shopping area. The Point at North Fayette, that's right by there. So it's mainly like suburban shopping areas, or like the hospital. That's sort of the big things around me.
If I could improve anything, more like activities to do for 24-year-olds, like I feel like it's more like little kids, high school kids, and then you jump up to like soccer moms.
More like parks for kids to go and play. I mean, definitely we already have a library, maybe a movie theater in the neighborhood.
Roads, especially during winter, they're hardly ever plowed because of how narrow the streets are. And I'm lucky that I have a driveway, but most of the people in my neighborhood don't. And we have to park on the street, so plow can't get through or your car gets damaged.
I think we need more homeowners in that area. Like there's a lot of empty houses that have been abandoned.
There's kind of an empty space by my apartment where the Edge restaurant used to be, and it kind of just brings a lot of bad activity kind of near me. So I think kind of monitoring that, maybe creating a nice park would be nice.
Just a lot of dead space when people are tearing down different areas when they can use what's already there.
I think my neighborhood is good the way it is. We're very lucky in Forest Hills in the various services. If a tree falls down and you call and alert the borough, someone will come by. There's actually an arborist. They don't call it Forest Hills for nothing.
Favorite building in Pittsburgh? That's a tough one because they've all changed over so many times. You have so many different churches and things that have been renovated. I'm very into that. Finding an old space and turning it into something completely different.
Well, cathedral flirting, I guess. I guess I would have to say that. That and also Soldiers and Sailors is very, very unique building. It just has a very different feel to it than some of the other buildings, and the huge auditorium is really cool stuff.
I mean, I like the way that the PPG building looks, and they have a nice cafeteria in the basement. I go over there for lunch sometimes.
What's your favorite building? A blue building? Okay. PPG Place. What about air? We like air.
Yeah, artist image resources.
Carnegie Museum in Pittsburgh, the whole Oakland area in general, I like.
I love seeing the city from the north side, especially from walking across the bridges. I take the 9th Street Bridge, and almost every day I stop to take a photograph with my camera.
I mean, I like the North Shore in general. Just walking along the Riverwalk, just being around there. Some of the bars along the river and stuff like that. Anything sort of along the river is just a really great place in the city.
The river trails, those are my favorite things to do. I go biking and running on them. There's sunken barges and boats on the side that you can climb around. That's probably my favorite thing to do in Pittsburgh.
Beside downtown, I like to go to Shadyside. It's a nice place to go if you want to hang out. It's also peaceful. You meet very interesting people. Yeah.
If I had friends and family to come in, I'd take them to like all the Pittsburghy stuff. I'd like to go eat at the Manny's, Church Brew Works, take them up to Mount Washington, and maybe kind of splurge a little bit on the Le Mans or the new restaurant up there, Altius. I was just there the other day. It was good.
Whenever there's I have friends, they want to go out, we usually end up somewhere around the city somewhere, whether it's South Side or East End, whatever.
I definitely would take them to some form of theater, depending who had something up at the time.
The War Hall. First and foremost, the War Hall Museum. The arena, go see the Penguins.
Definitely Mount Washington, Lawrenceville. Lawrenceville has really been redeveloped and it's really up and coming. It looks really awesome. There's a lot of exciting new things going on down there as well.
The first Fridays in Garfield, they have the gallery crawls. I usually go to that.
Classic, go to Mount Washington, show them the overlook, and I also like to take them to the point when the fountain's actually working. It's just got a beautiful view and everything like that. So,
gosh, add one thing. I'd like to see more trails along the river. I'd like to see those get expanded. I'd like to see more access along the river, no matter where you are.
More bike lanes and better drivers.
I think that having the incline open a little bit later would encourage more people to live up there who kind of are in the hospitality industry like me.
It is hard to get around. If you aren't from Pittsburgh, it's really hard to find where you need to go because the street names change, things go off all suddenly. If you can't follow GPS in Pittsburgh, you will not get anywhere. So it should be planned out better, really.
They were talking about putting a guard, like a park on top of the steel building. I would like to do that. That would be really cool.
I guess nightlife is kind of a big, there's sort of a missing piece for some reason. I feel like besides having events like this, it's not very busy, after working hours and weekends. It's pretty quiet relatively, unless there's like a game or something,
What downtown needs, because of vibrancy and things happening now, like a grocery store.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never thought there was anything that was really deficient about the city, but then again, how I live my life is pretty fulfilled with what the city offers. So.
Well, I drive. I have a bike, and I also I'll take the bus sometimes. Usually, I try to avoid taking the bus. I usually try to bike as much as I can.
I don't have a car. I usually walk a lot, but otherwise I'll take the public Port Authority buses, and we get them free with student ID and all of that. So yeah, but usually I just walk everywhere.
Not all the time. I do have a vehicle, but public transportation is a great option in the winter.
Yeah, I have. I use it all the time. I don't have a car. It saves so much money. I mean, it's a little expensive every month getting a bus pass, but it's worth it because, I don't have to worry about the maintenance of a car, and it's nice and reliable too.
I ride my bike around the city.
I take the bus sometimes.
We may take the T. I used to live in South Side and North Side and everything, so I'm familiar with taking it, but now I'm a suburban housewife mom, so it's kind of getting him to realize that it's there.
No, I'm not driving actually. Mainly public transportation.
Mostly for coming downtown, through the buses, or occasionally if I'm visiting friends who are farther outside the city, I'll take the T out.
Yeah, I take the T, and then whenever I work late, like whenever I start work late, it's rush hour's over, then I drive. But the bad part about that is parking is not that good.
It would be difficult for me to live without the car. I need to go grocery shopping, and grocery shopping with the bus does not work.
For me, I kind of got used to and accustomed to kind of being able to do things with the bus. So I think that Zip car really kind of helps. My brother uses that a lot. He lives downtown, and it really helps for him if he needs to do grocery shopping. For me, that's an option as well.
I definitely could. I was actually thinking about that today. I was walking around campus and thinking about how I was just going to take the bus here, actually. And I was like, there's really no need for me to own a car. If I just live in a city, you can get it to everywhere you need to go without one.
I have my own car, but I live outside of the city. If I lived in the city, I probably wouldn't need a car, but living on the outskirts, it's a little bit more necessary to get around.
I can get into the city like during the day, but the buses are pretty. They stop running at 11, so anything after that, you'd have to rely on Lyft, cab, something like that, which wouldn't be very convenient for daily use.
Also, I have to admit that the public transportation is not always reliable. And you have to learn how to live with. You have to jungle a lot. You have to, adapt.
So let's say I wake out of bed and I'm 1 minute late to catch the T, and I'm running down there and I see it just cross right through my eyes, 1 minute late. Then it doesn't come for another 15, 20 minutes. So instead of me being 1 minute late to work, I'm now 15, 20 minutes late to work. So I would jump in my car and scoot down West Liberty Avenue as fast as I can without getting pulled over, and then I'd have no choice but to park in that expensive lot in order to not be 20 minutes late.
I thought about getting a bus pass for the wintertime, but the cost of getting a bus pass versus just paying every day, it was just cheaper just to pay every day I needed to, because I could bike. I'd bike most of the days. Like, it just would, bundle up.
I know they're starting to cut some of the bus routes, but I can go grocery shopping, I can go do my laundry and everything. And so it's great. It's a great, opportunity for me to kind of travel in Pittsburgh, because even though I say I'm from Pittsburgh, after going to the university, I started to really get to know more about the city. So